Yo, it's good. It's your man, 100 Grand Ross with The Rock Never Stops. Yo, you know your boy had to do a little commentary about this Damian Lillard trade to the Milwaukee Bucks. Yo, if you enjoy the video, smash that like button for me. Hit subscribe and the bell for notifications. Yo, this is some exciting shit. Let me just start with ESPN and the pundits, right? They always like to shape the narrative. And they usually always shape the narrative in favor of team owners and those who have the majority of control and power around a sport or a business that's predominantly about the utilizing of the bodies of, black and brown people. Let's just say it. A bunch of old white dudes controlling, what black people are doing in their lives and dictating how much they can earn and what their value is. And, in lieu of a salary cap and a draft and all those ways in which they exhibit control to make sure that they over maximize their profit, even when they're lying about how much they're profiting so they can get the public to believe that players are being overpaid when in fact they're being far underpaid in comparison to what they're actually yielding for these team owners collectively and individually. Now, all that's to say is that the dominant narrative that I've been hearing over and over is how Damian Lillard got showed who's who and what's what, that he did not get his way. And they're hammering this narrative that Damian Lillard did not get his way. Now, this is what they are insinuating, that Damian Lillard said, the only team that I want to go to is the Miami Heat, and I am unwilling to go any other place. When in fact, what he was saying was, I prefer to go to the Miami Heat because they are a contender ready to win right now. And I want to go someplace where I can be an essential part of a championship team, something that the Portland Trailblazers organization has either refused or negligently been unable to provide me in my career up until this point. And so the Portland Trailblazers, they do their due diligence. They don't just ship them off to Miami. Personally, I thought they should have just did them a favor and been like, all right, bruh, you done stuck with us far longer than anybody else would have, especially with the type of teams that we've put around you. And despite being a superstar, we can't seem to get you consistently into contention. In fact, he has never been considered on a contending team while in Portland. And so I thought they should have just did him a solid and just sent him off to a Miami and flipped Tyler Hero for whatever they could and kept it moving. But I'm not mad that they took their time and due diligence. I'm just appreciative that they actually did it before training camp. With enough time before training camp where he has an opportunity to move himself and his family and relocate them into Milwaukee or wherever that they're going to go, right? Because sometimes they don't want to do it. Sometimes they want to stay in Portland. And like, look, you're only going to be there for a few years. We do it back and forth, maybe for a year or so while we adjust, figure it out. Who knows? But it's to say that they did him at least enough of a solid to say, we're not going to do this midseason. We're not going to drag this fiasco out and have you come into training camp knowing you don't want to be there. You've asked out. You got Scoot Henderson, who's a phenom for all intents and purposes, and this, limbo of who's going to be the man, the leader of this team in the future. They resolved that shit before training camp is even starting, and kudos to them for doing it. Now, here's the thing that I love to talk about. The basketball side. The basketball side. This is the side that we all really care about. We should care about the rest of it because it shapes the basketball side. But I digress. The basketball side is what I want to tap in on right now. Neither Giannis Antetokounmpo or Damian Lillard has ever played with another superstar. And it points to why, once again, LeBron James was like, no, I am not willing to either get to a NBA championship or a NBA finals appearance and have to win by a fluke in a down year where I'm facing a team that's unprepared and everything aligns for me to win. And maybe I get one. Damn it, I want to win multiple because I'm here for my legacy and to maximize my career. And so he left Cleveland to go play with who? Superstars. Why? Because superstars win championships. And despite Damian Lillard's superstardom, the organization has literally held him back by being completely inept and being able to surround him with a title contending team. And this is how you know it's a title contending team. They can make the playoffs without him. If they can make the playoffs and even win a round without him, that is a championship contending team. LeBron James got hurt in the second half of last season, and his team still had the second best record in the NBA. Made the play-in, and they were able to get through the play-in, into the playoffs, and got to the Western Conference Finals. I'm not even mad that they got swept by the Denver Nuggets because they had far more continuity. They've been together for years. They've been in the trenches. It's a team that was ready. Two-time MVP Nikola Jokic played out of his mind. We will never see a performance like that again. And it was amazing. But they lost in the Western Conference Finals to the eventual champions. This is what Damian Lillard and Giannis Antetokounmpo are going to have the opportunity to do. It's to play with another superstar that when they are having an off night, when they maybe are dealing with a injury, God forbid, knock on wood, right? Some sort of wood, knock on it, that they're dealing with some form of an injury, the other one can look at them and say, I've got you. We can get through this play, and we can get through this first round. We can get through this part of the season. You rest up. I got this. And when you have Chris Middleton, who is a high-level shot creator, remember, a lot of people forget, when you have a major injury that keeps you out a majority of a season, it takes you not just the 6 months to get back on the court and be able to play again, but it takes you a full season to really recapture your sense of self on the court. And that means linking your mind with your body. The confidence to fully be back takes an additional full season, whether it's an ACL, MCL, whether it's an Achilles, it doesn't matter what it is. It takes time. I expect to see Chris Middleton of old this season. I expect everyone on this Milwaukee Bucks team to be in on a championship this season. I am excited for this team. This team has every reason to believe they should be blowing through the East. I know they'll be figuring stuff out, but you know what? When you got a Damian Lillard, who is probably one of the best leaders in the NBA, outside of a LeBron James, or maybe a Tyrese Halliburton, or maybe a Nikola, I'd say more of a leader than even a Nikola Jokic, because he's a verbal leader as well as by example, and he brings everyone together, and he's been doing it longer. I think he's one of the best leaders out there. And when you have a Giannis Antetokounmpo at your side, it stretches that much further. It stretches that much further. I expect Damian Lillard's efficiency to go through the roof. I expect Giannis's efficiency to go through the roof. I expect this team to come together because remember, they're really only switching out one component, but it's a component that really shapes the outlook of this team. I fully expect a championship contending season, barring any type of major injury for this Milwaukee Bucks. Anything short of a finals appearance is a massive disappointment. It may put a lot of pressure on them, but damn it, that's what comes with being a superstar, pressure. And neither of these superstars should be any stranger to the pressure. Now, the rest of this trade. I love DeAndre Ayton going to the Portland Trailblazers. Maybe it'll break their curse of big men. I mean, the whole Greg Oden and Bill Walton of past and, big men struggle over there. But LaMarcus Aldridge, he's shown, he was breaking the mold, and then they got Yusuf Nurkic, and Nurkic was on struggle. He was always injured. But now you got one of the best Iron Men, big men in the league in DeAndre Ayton. And the beautiful part about it is who are you pairing him with? Scoot Henderson. Pick and roll master. At a young age, this young phenom is going to have his big man of the future who's going to be able to carry the scoring load for this team. I think he's going to turn in a 25-12 season. Hey, pick him up on your fantasy roster. Your boy is in for a big year. Fully expect DeAndre Ayton to ball out. Jeremy Grant, ball out. Scoot Henderson, Shaedon Sharpe, these two are just going to be asked to fill it in. You don't have to force anything. Play to your strengths. Get out in transition. Get to the rim. get to the free throw line, hit the open threes, make good decisions. We don't need you to be a superstar yet because you still got Anthony Simmons, who's another 20-plus point per game scorer. They're going to have one of the most athletic teams, especially starting lineups in the NBA. Shut it down. Nobody's close. You've got Scoot Henderson. You've got slam dunk champion Anthony Simons. You've got Shaedon Sharpe, who's a future slam dunk champion. And then you got Jeremy Grant and DeAndre Ayton. They've got length, athleticism, shooting. They're going to be one hell of a team to watch. Don't be shocked if they're healthy, if they're not close to the play-in. You might be saying, hey, it's blasphemous. Scoot Henderson is just getting here. But you know what? The reality is Scoot Henderson has been ready. Remember, he started off in the G League at the age of 17 years old. He's been around the NBA playing against NBA players since he was 17, competing against NBA players at 17. And 2 years he was in the G League. He is every bit ready. He is ready to be a star in the NBA. And with the team around him, he'll have every advantage and opportunity to do just that, playing to his strengths, pushing his team to be able to win night in and night out. It's going to be so much fun to watch. And then you have the Phoenix Suns. I think they got probably the tail end of this thing. Grayson Allen, whatever. Neither here nor there. Yusuf Nurkic, he's injured 40 games a year. Coincidentally, they got his same backup from the Portland Trailblazers. So they got, Portland's big man, rotation. But they still got Kevin Durant. And really what they just did was they got off of DeAndre Ayton, who was ready to get out. And they got him out. And they're going to have to figure out how to replace that. And they won't. Now, I think Nurkic will set bigger, harder screens, and he'll bring a different level of toughness and physicality. Even his backup, is going to bring that as well. And I think that's important. But I think they're still going to be in great shape because they got Devin Booker, Kevin Durant, and Bradley Beal. And if anything, DeAndre Ayton is not trying to be a fourth wheel. Because I think we're going to see this season what he looks like as a 1-2 option. What he looks like when they just feed the beast nonstop. When they look him in the eye and said, you're getting 18 to 20 shots a game. Off top. That's what we're doing. We're going to see somebody else. And people are going to be like, how come he didn't do it in Phoenix? Because he had other guys. And Monty Williams decided to play him the way he did. But that's neither here nor there. We're in the present. We're heading into the future. We're no longer in the past. We see it. We understand it. Got it. We've learned from it. I'm expecting big things from Mr. DA. I'm expecting big things even from Portland to sneak up on a lot of people. But as always, I want to know what you all think. What do you think of this trade? What do you think of Damian Lillard and Giannis Antetokounmpo for the Milwaukee Bucks? For the Milwaukee Bucks, because we all know Philly is still on struggle. What do y'all think about this trade? Holla at me in the comment section. Get at your boy. If you enjoyed the video, smash the like button. It definitely helps with the algorithms and all the support for the channel. And let me know in the comment section. I'm going to get back at you. I'm going to holla at you. Peace.